Welcome to AudiVation. Today, we will discuss a different kind of book. Imagine this. Two filmmaking legends sitting across from each other in a quiet room, separated by language but united by their love for cinema. One is Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense, who redefined storytelling and turned thrillers into an art form. The other is François Truffaut, a young and brilliant French New Wave director who idolized Hitchcock and sought to understand the genius behind the camera. For a week, they spoke, in meticulous detail, about Hitchcock's life, his films, and his philosophy. The result is Hitchcock/Truffaut, a book that is as much about filmmaking as it is about passion, persistence, and creative mastery. But let me tell you something. This book isn't just about filmmaking. It's about life. It's about facing struggles, taking risks, and crafting meaning out of chaos. Because when you really think about it, isn't life a lot like a Hitchcock film? Full of suspense, unexpected twists, moments of triumph, and yes, the occasional fall. Hitchcock once said, "The audience is like a giant organ that you and I are playing. At one moment, we strike a note, and there is a vibration. We hit another note, and there's a different vibration." That's not just storytelling. That's life itself. We're all trying to strike the right chords, to connect, to leave a mark. The book begins with Hitchcock's early days, a shy boy growing up in London, deeply influenced by Catholic guilt and an almost obsessive attention to detail. He tells Truffaut about his first job as a title card designer in silent films and how this experience taught him to communicate visually. He says, "You must tell the story in pictures." This wasn't just advice for filmmakers. It was a philosophy for life. Sometimes words aren't enough. It's the actions, the expressions, the moments between the lines that speak volumes. Think about your own life. How often do your actions speak louder than your words? How many stories do you tell without even realizing it? One of the most touching parts of the book is when Hitchcock talks about failure. Can you imagine Alfred Hitchcock, the genius behind Psycho and Vertigo, feeling like a failure? But he did. His early British films weren't always well received, and when he moved to Hollywood, he struggled to find his footing. But instead of giving up, he doubled down. He took risks, experimented, and learned from every mistake. "Drama," he told Truffaut, "is life with the dull bits cut out." Maybe we can all learn from that, to edit out the fear of failure and focus on the moments that truly matter. Isn't that what life asks of us? To take the setbacks, the heartaches, and turn them into something meaningful? As they move through Hitchcock's filmography, Truffaut's admiration is palpable. He asks about everything: the infamous shower scene in Psycho, the dream sequences in Spellbound, the romantic tension in Rear Window. And Hitchcock, in his dry humor, explains how every shot, every camera movement, every frame was meticulously planned. "There is no terror in the bang," he says, "only in the anticipation of it." Isn't that a profound truth about life, too? So often, our fear is not of the event itself, but of the build-up, the waiting, the uncertainty. And yet, it's in those moments of anticipation that we grow. It's where courage is forged. Hitchcock didn't shy away from exploring the darker sides of human nature. His films often delve into themes of guilt, obsession, and moral ambiguity. He believed that the audience should be complicit, that they should feel the tension and question their own perceptions. Isn't that what life does to us? It forces us to confront our fears, our doubts, and our choices. Watching a Hitchcock film is like holding up a mirror to our own struggles. And reading about his journey is a reminder that even the masters grappled with imperfection. I think what's most inspiring about Hitchcock Truffaut is how it captures Hitchcock's vulnerability. For all his confidence as a filmmaker, He was deeply insecure about being seen as an artist. He tells Truffaut that critics dismissed his films as mere entertainment. But Truffaut, with all the fervor of a fan, insists that Hitchcock's work is art of the highest order. Isn't that what we all need? Someone to remind us of our worth, to see the brilliance in us even when we doubt ourselves? How many times have you questioned your own value, only to have someone else remind you of your greatness? The book also dives into the humanity of Hitchcock's characters. He believed that every character, no matter how small, needed depth. He tells Truffaut about the moment in North by Northwest, when Cary Grant's character is framed for a crime he didn't commit. Hitchcock says, "It's not about the action, it's about how the character feels in that moment." Think about that for a second. How often do we focus on what's happening instead of how we're experiencing it? It's a reminder to stay present, to feel deeply, and to never lose sight of the human connection in our stories. And then there's Truffaut's journey. He's not just interviewing Hitchcock, he's learning, absorbing, growing. By the end of the book, you see how this conversation shaped him as a filmmaker. It's a testament to the power of mentorship, the way one person's insights can ignite another's dreams. Hitchcock's openness, his willingness to share his failures and successes, becomes a roadmap for Truffaut and for all of us who dare to create. What I love most about Hitchcock Truffaut is its universal message. Greatness isn't about perfection. It's about passion, persistence, and a relentless desire to connect. Hitchcock wasn't afraid to show his flaws. He wasn't afraid to take risks, to fail, to push the boundaries of what cinema could be. And through this book, he encourages all of us to do the same. There's a moment near the end where Hitchcock reflects on his legacy. He says, "What is drama, after all, but life with the dull bits cut out?" It's a reminder that our lives, like his films, are made richer by the moments of tension, risk, and emotion, by daring to step into the unknown, by telling our stories, even when it's scary. And when you think about it, isn't that the essence of life? To craft meaning from struggle, to find beauty in the suspense, and to dare greatly in the face of uncertainty. Hitchcock's journey reminds us that filmmaking is not so different from life itself. Every scene, every frame, every decision on set mirrors the choices we make daily. In a way, we're all directors of our own lives, crafting narratives, navigating challenges, and seeking connection. His relentless pursuit of his vision, despite the odds, is a lesson for all of us. Whether it's a dream you're chasing, a relationship you're nurturing, or a challenge you're facing, Hitchcock's story proves that persistence pays off, and imperfection is part of the beauty. So whether you're a filmmaker, a storyteller, or someone navigating the challenges of life, Hitchcock Truffaut isn't just a book. It's a conversation that will light a fire in you. It's a reminder that we all have a story to tell, and that the best stories, like the best lives, are full of suspense, vulnerability, and courage. Stay well, my friend.